that just fuck up before because I was gonna,
Yeah, that fucked up. All right, we're live apparently. Yes, we're live now. Yeah, I'm gonna put the comments back on.
All right, buddy.
So, what are you guys talking about?
I was just getting everybody how they scored the fight. Cam had it for Porter. Official had it for Ugas.
Yeah,
Precise
like I
said,
said, I stopped watching the fight after round seven. So,
Precise said Porter whooped his ass. He said he gave him 1 round. But
Porter wasn't doing shit though. I mean, that guy was just backing. I mean, this guy thinks he's a boxer or something. What the fuck was that all about?
Porter,
But
I gave him up to three, okay? Two for sure. The 12 I had even. But I mean, you know how it goes. If it's even, it could go either way. But like this is the problem. I think, I'm not sure. Like people expect Porter to fight one way, and then when he starts to box and he takes away dude's jab and now jabs him, like maybe he doesn't get enough credit for that. I mean, and officials saying that Porter wasn't doing anything. Well, yeah, compared to how Porter fights, he wasn't doing shit, but he still threw more punches than Ugas. Ugas
uh,
wasn't doing anything.
that's true. A lot of the Sean Porter punches were not landing though. I mean, the power punches, those big right hands, they weren't landing. Fuck, for sure they weren't. Right,
That's
I'll
what
give you.
I'm
Okay, I'll
thinking
give you
about.
that. The jab was landing, but yeah, okay, that's enough to win the fight maybe. But come
Yeah,
on, man.
but he hurt him with the jab at least twice. He walked him into a really strong jab a couple of times and had him holding. Like I thought he was fucking. I can't say he beat his ass because both guys were bruised up and it was a tough fight for both guys. And I give Ugas credit because he's huge and fucking durable. But like I watched the fight again this morning because I did give Ugas 5 rounds, no joke. But I watched the fight again on Daily Motion in HD, and I would slow down the exchanges to just to be sure because I'm looking at this and like Ugas looks to be hitting Porter, but Porter's coming right back and backing him up. So I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, what's wrong with these punches? So I slow it down and I look at the shots, and the dude is a fucking slapper, man. Like the kid was slapping, he was slapping him all night, whether it was the right hand or the left hook. He was just straight up slapping. Like it was embarrassing, man. But I think Porter didn't get enough credit for the really short punches he caught him in when Ugas was coming in. Porter was just fucking cracking them left and right. Not a
yeah,
lot. I don't mean to exaggerate because neither guy really landed very cleanly or a lot. But Porter throws very short punches sometimes on the inside, and Ugas was just straight walking into him.
yeah,
So
yeah. He got. I think it was the 10th round or something. He walked right into a good stiff jab and it kind of rattled him a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
He did.
exactly.
Yeah. Like I say, it was I got people on my comments and shit, on my videos saying he got fucking robbed and all this. I'm like, I don't know about that, bro. Like it was a close fight, but I think it's a pretty far cry from a robbery.
It looked close live. I was watching it live. It did look close, but like when you really slow down the action, and obviously the judges can't do that, so I don't expect them to. But 117, 111. Let me tell you guys something. I think this was a trap fight for Porter. I think they're trying to uh, get him out of the picture. Porter to me never seemed like he was one of Al's favorites, and he's the only one in that stable at welterweight that's fighting everybody.
Yeah,
Danny Garcia, not maybe he's the second one. But for some reason, Porter, it's just because of who he is, and he'll take whatever fight. But to me, it just doesn't seem like they really like him a lot because he has that ugly style. He doesn't seem to have a lot of fans. He's not like Adrian Broner. He doesn't push that. Like he's a nice guy. He's a gentleman, right? He doesn't push that fucking. He's not about that life or whatever the fuck you want to call it. The shit that seems to be popular right now with,
yeah.
in that Al Heyman stable, right? Those like you look at the Charlos, you look at Bronner, you look at Gervonta Davis, all those guys that are getting arrested, like Floyd Mayweather, they're the ones getting all the shine. You know what I mean? It's just kind of whack. So I think they
They're
were trying to get him out of the picture. But go ahead,
yeah.
bro.
No, I was just gonna say that's right, precise. They're rewarding these guys for being fucking idiots, which isn't how it should be. Like you say, fucking Broner, Tank, Wilder, and they're all internet trolls talking about they're gonna splatter somebody on the fucking like. Yeah, all right, dude, come on, man. And then you got
Uh,
Porter over here who's being a class act and fighting everybody, and he don't get no. Yeah, I get that completely.
I mean, look at the guy's resume. Like at welterweight, where it's so difficult to make fights, Porter has fought everybody. You know what I mean? And like the Brook fight, I thought he lost, but man, that was close. If that had, why didn't that go to Porter in America, right? Like, why didn't it? If that was, Agent Bronner or somebody, like he would have gotten the nod in that fight. When he fought Keith Thurman, I thought he got fucking shit out, just robbed in that one.
Me
But
too.
but like I could see people giving it to Thurman because they thought his punches were, that powerful. I don't know, man. Porter's
Yeah.
a tough dude, he fights everybody and he's just not he doesn't seem like one of the favorites in the stable, but I'm gonna shut up and let you guys talk a little more.
No,
You know what? Sorry. Can I just say something about the fight?
go ahead,
I
buddy.
mean, or does somebody else wants to talk?
No, go ahead, official, because then I wanted to say
Oh,
what's up
okay.
to Gonzalo.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, what you guys were saying about Porter, I all agree about that, and I don't mean to argue with precise, but I just want to explain to reason why I had it for Ugas,
You can
because
argue, bro. I don't care. Go ahead and argue. I don't
no,
give a shit. I'm just
I
saying.
know, but no, you see, first of all, me I'm the first one who is not going to judge the fighter because he changed his style or whatever else, or to say, oh, he lost this fight because in the previous fight he was throwing more, so in this fight he was throwing less. No, it's not about that. I think the way I was watching the fight, and I refuse to watch it in slow motion because when I'm judging the fight, I'm putting myself in a in a skin of the official judges, and so but I'm always paying a close attention to the exchanges. So I thought that Porter was more throwing more, but I saw just really a lot of his punches being blocked. At least watching it in a normal speed. I thought that Ugas was throwing much less. I mean, maybe not much less, but less than Porter. But however, I've seen him landing much more clean punches. And to Precise's point, saying that he was not landing with his knuckles. See, I think that's the difference between the Europe and America, because if I'm not mistaken, I think that in America you're allowed to throw those types of hooks where you're not going to land with your knuckle, but with your fingers, with the fingers part of your glove. Because I remember even talking with my coach, who was a French Olympian, but I'm not saying it to prove like. See, my coach was ex-Olympian, etc. But he was saying me that see, in Europe you have to throw it that way. If not, you're going to be penalized by judges. But he was telling me at the same time because my own style of fighting was pretty much Tyson's style, and he told me how not to throw hook, because he was saying me like Tyson could throw those hooks because in America you're allowed to, because that is the American type of hook, because it can be useful, very useful, that type of hook. I think it's good to be allowed because you're able to throw it from the different angles, and I think that's why Americans are using that type of hook.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really make a lot of sense logically, because in America you could knock a guy out with nut shots too. So but so that's like, I know what you're saying. The rules are a lot stricter, or the rules are enforced in Europe. Just because they're not enforced in America, fine. I'm not saying he should be disqualified for doing that. What I am saying is that those are not effective punches. And the reason why you can't do that is because you could rupture somebody's eardrum hitting them like that, and you could really hurt somebody. And there's just not legal punches, period. You can't hit with the wrist, or like if you just have a guy go out and he starts throwing his jab, but instead of hitting you with the knuckles, he starts hitting you with the open part of the glove. They're going to call that. Why? Why are they going to call that? Because it's obvious. When they're in, when they're exchanging with one another, and somebody, fights are going to get sloppy, and you will always end up landing poorly, right? That doesn't mean the action should be stopped and you should be penalized unless you're doing it on purpose. It's a fight. Shit happens, right? People slip. Shit happens. What I'm saying is that if you're not landing with your knuckles, your punches aren't clean or effective, which means if you're a good judge, you shouldn't be giving him a whole bunch of credit, especially if that punch that you land with the palm doesn't do anything to your opponent and he's able to come back at you with something. What does that tell you? That tells you that you're not punching cleanly or effectively, which doesn't mean that he should be penalized for it, because again, shit happens. That's my point.
If anybody else can any of you guys see the comments right now? Because I can't see them. I can, because I'm on my phone, bro.
I can.
Okay, well, if somebody makes a donation or something, just read it off, official, because I'm on my phone right now. I'm not sitting in front of the computer. But no, I just wanted to get to Gonzalo. What's up, buddy? I just want to get to Gonzalo and see who we had winning. Gonzalo,
hello.
What's up,
hello.
brother?
How you guys doing?
Good. You watch the fights, buddy?
All right.
Yeah, I did. I watched them on the YouTube.
All right. Well, we're on Ugas and Porter right now. We'll get to Bivol and that in a little bit. But who did you have winning, Gonzalo?
Very very hard fight for me to score. I actually watched it twice because my dog wouldn't leave me alone. But so I had to objectively look at it because I knew we were gonna talk about it and stuff. It's just very hard to score. Even the second time around when I watched it, because Porter, yeah, he gets a knee for effort, and he comes to fight, but at the same time, he tried to implement a different plan, boxing from the outside against the much rangier guy with uh with better quote unquote boxing skills, because usually Porter's used to going in there and mauling you and fighting up close, whether it's effective or not, he's gonna score mauling you, and like he has before, and this way he fought, he missed a lot. That's the thing. He missed a lot because look, even when he's up close, he hits you, but he hits you with the inside part of the arm instead of, like, I know you guys were just mentioning about how scoring cleanly. I don't know for what side, for which fighter you were talking about that, because even Ugas, when he got the knockdown, he clotheslined the guy like on the side of the head, I believe. So he did it too. He was guilty of that. But Porter, when he hits, sometimes I saw to the body, instead of landing with the let's for example, let's think of amateur gloves, like the white part of the glove, like where the fist, where the knuckles go. He lands with the palm side, and not just the laces in the palm side, but also with the forearm. So when the judges see that, they're gonna obviously see some contact, depending on what angle the judges, I'm assuming. But he's not hitting a clean punch with the knuckle. Let's say the white part of the glove. Let's just think of amateur gloves from the knuckles. Just for the sake of picturing how you score an effective blow. But yeah, he hits with the inside part of the glove,
with the laces, yeah.
Yeah, with the laces. Now think about somebody that's used to hitting you with the laces, because he's trying really hard to hit you, and most of the time that's what he does. Now imagine that guy trying to box you from the outside. Of course he's gonna miss, because he can effectively hit you when he's inside. Imagine trying to effectively hit you when he's outside. So I saw that he was missing a lot because of that, because he doesn't know how to zero in. I don't know what he needs to do to better his boxing. They were talking about um anyways, something that I can't remember in the commentators the word, but yeah, so as far as like scoring it, like who won, if we compare like who did more, it's really really hard to tell. I would just give it a draw, but I mean that's not saying that I'm right, but for example, like Ugas, he did land, but he didn't do enough either. And so the other guy's trying harder, but he's missing a lot, and he's landing too. And he you can tell he's going in there to win the fight, but that doesn't mean it's pretty and it's 100% effective. But with that being said, Ugas didn't rise above that. Him being the boxer to try to win the fight in my eyes. So it's just very hard to score.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I said, Gonzalo. I said it was a close fight because there was a lot of people, even on my videos, that were saying, "Oh, Ugas got robbed," and I don't know. That's kind of pushing the envelope for me. I thought it was a close fight. If you had it one way or the other, I'm not going to argue with you. You know what I'm saying, Gonzalo?
Shout out to Boom Boom Mancini because you know, well, that's his opinion that Porter didn't win the fight, but like the rest of these guys, they were like really biased towards Porter. I'm not trying to shit on the guy either, but they were like for example in the second round, the two commentators were talking about. So who you think you think Porter is like a really polished fighter? That's what I was gonna say. And even those guys are like, no, well, he's not the more polished, but he's the most experienced because obviously you can't say Porter is polished because
Bro, Marco
yeah.
Villegas gave Ugas the 6th round. Porter absolutely schooled Ugas in the 6th round.
I
I don't know.
noticed that too. I noticed that too, precise.
Come
yeah.
on, that was just
Yeah.
I don't. They were all over. The commentary was all over the damn place. Everybody was wrong. I think. Lennox was he was sucking Porter off, but the other guys were sucking off the other dude. Everybody sucked him.
Yeah,
When,
that's
like,
what I'm saying. It's hard to really make a good assessment unless you judge for yourself,
I
Even
don't
then.
like. I hear what they got to say, but I just dismiss it. I don't pay any attention because like anybody could be wrong on the night, right? Just use your own eyes. But to your point about laces and people not understanding how illegal that shit is. Look, you can't lace people. You guys know what that means, right? When you flip your wrist, you face your wrist up to their face and you like rub the laces in their face. You can't do
Yeah.
that. That's
That's
clearly
brutal.
illegal, right? It's
Brutal.
called lacing. So, but you can take your glove and you could throw an uppercut just the same way. Same motion. As long as you make contact with the fist, that's legal. When you're making contact with the laces, that's not legal. That's why when you're punching with the wrist, obviously and logically, that's not legal. Just because they don't call it, I mean, boxing is a fucking sham. What are you gonna do about it, right?
Yeah.
You're supposed to understand that that shit ain't right. Period. We don't score that. Just like a low blow is, you can't knock somebody out with the low blow, right? It
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah.
but you know,
What's up, Revolution? We haven't heard from you in a while, buddy.
Well, first of all, you guys brought up Lennox Lewis. What did you guys think of Lennox Lewis all wrapped up in a blanket at the commentary booth?
I seen
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit.
where was this fight that it was that cold?
I think Brooklyn, was it? No, West Coast. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
But
forgot.
it was America. It wasn't the UK.
Outdoors, or it must have been outdoors.
Yeah, that's right. It was. You're right.
Yeah,
I don't
Lennox was wrapped.
Carson. Carson, that's where it had to have been. Carson City,
Yeah.
California. Right?
Carson, California. I think they did mention that. It's really cold out there right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
California.
Lennox was wrapped up in a blanket like fucking Paulie Walnuts on the One Sopranos there.
He's
Yeah.
all swaddled up like a baby. But yeah, this was kind of a weird fight overall. Now that Precise is talking about Ugas's punch technique and how it really wasn't up to snuff, that is a very good point. But I think Porter, like, he just wasn't right this fight. I think, like I said, the weigh-in drama, trying to shave that extra pound and a half or whatever off, I think that took a lot out of him. And I don't know. I think from the second round on, Ugas like really felt comfortable. And like I mentioned earlier too, he kind of won the mental game. If you're just judging off body language alone, like if you look at like the end of the 12th round, just on body language, it felt like Porter knew, like, shit, I didn't do enough. I didn't implement my game plan. Ugas was like, yeah, I did more than I expected to, but there's a lot of variables here. It's weird.
I think Revolution, it's funny you say that because that's what I said. It did, regardless of who you thought won, Porter's body language at the end of the fight was like, I fucking blew it. And then on top of that, Ugas was giving him the fucking the 1,000-yard stare at the end of every round too. So
But-
I was just a little mental play.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
But Ugas should have been throwing more too. When he did a lot of staring and a lot of feinting, he should have been throwing more a lot. You know, like he wasn't as bad as like a Lara or a Rigondeaux in regards to not putting enough gas or not putting the pedal down enough.
yeah.
But he was just a little bit off, just a little bit more. He could have pulled it off in the judge's eyes. And also, just one other funny thing I noticed. They mentioned that Porter he lived in like Las Vegas or something, right? That he went to training camp in D.C. and he left his girlfriend and his baby behind. And they put the picture. They put the picture of the baby on the screen, and the baby's name is Sade Porter. But the baby got a nickname too officially. In quotes, it was Sade Diggy Porter, Diggy Diggy.
I'd fucking kill myself if that was my nickname.
Diggy Porter. Diggy Porter. It sounds like the second seat saxophonist in Parliament Funkadelic. Fucking Bootsy Collins and Diggy Porter.
Who did Boom Boom have one in the fight? Did Boom Boom have a scorecard?
Ugas.
Boom Boom had. I like fucking Boom Boom. He reminds me of my dad, bro. But
Yeah, it's just he was like before he didn't seem like he participated all that much in the commentary, like as far as being vocal and stuff. But now at least he went against what everybody else was thinking. Maybe he's gonna be one of those characters.
yeah, let's say hi to Jimmy. I don't like I say if anybody can see the chat, if there's any crazy shit going on, let me know because I can't see it, bro. So, but what's up,
I'm
Jimmy?
following for now.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
How you doing, buddy?
What are you running the show tonight?
I guess so. It appears that way. So.
Oh, what is Bucho and them busy?
Yeah. He's
right.
like, Bucho was like, you feel like running one? I was like, yeah, what the hell? Why not?
Nice. So, let me ask you guys, who do you think won that fight last night, Ugas or Porter?
Yeah, that's what I was just getting everybody's opinion on. I thought it was close, man.
It was close. Ugas won that fight, though. The fact that DeLuca gave him that fucking Porter the 12th round and then supposedly said he didn't want to leave it a draw the last round, which what he was going to do. But it shouldn't even been a draw. That was probably Ugas' most dominant round. He was pot shotting him. Listen, fucking Goosen was right on the money, without a doubt. Remember, there's allegiances with fucking the color man there, fucking doing color, the Lennox Lewis and shit. And he's real close. He's real good friends with Kenny Porter. So obviously he's got biases. Joe Goosen was right. The harder, precise, down the middle punches, the cleaner boxing punches, everything, style points. Fucking, I never seen anybody. The only thing I could give Porter credit for, first off, I thought his performance was disastrous.
Absolutely.
Disastrous performance. And I'm a Porter fan. I've said it for years. Like the kid, always takes the tough fight. Wrong way. That's not how you attract. I mean, that fucking fight started in the first round when people are chanting, Porter. And by the sixth round, they're going, Ugas. You know what I mean? That's telling you something in L.A. You know what I mean? So, fans don't appreciate that style for the most part, right? Never mind the fact that his conditioning was great because I never seen anybody work so hard to avoid being in a fight. After he got cracked in the third round, he realized, wow. See, a lot of people, unfortunately, when you guys first came in, because the last few times, the reason why I picked him going into this fight, a lot of people weren't, but I watched his last 3 fights really close. So I'm like, let me go see. I try to see all the fights I could of this kid, and I saw his progression through it. And in the beginning, he had a hard time shaking the Cuban school of fighting, which is very amateur, right? Pop, 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 tap, tap. He's doing a point system because obviously, as you know, in the amateurs, a knockdown in a jab is equal 1-1. You crack someone in the face, they go down. You hit them with a jab, 1-1. There's no, you know what I mean? They don't credit knockdowns. So his first 12 fights, it was all about fucking, still, he didn't shake it. It wasn't until about 6-7 fights ago, he said he really learned. He was taught to, on his counter to really bend at the hip. And he worked actually with I read a batting coach, which taught him to swip his hips even more. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to be big. Remember Ken Griffey Jr.? I use him all the time. That dude was built like a rail. But he fucking had the perfect form. He dropped to the, you know what I mean, with his hips and behind everything. And so his powers later developed in his length, He's got long arms. He's fucking technically sound. That's why I had him winning the fight by 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And that was being and I was being kind to Porter.
Well, see,
fucking
this is
dude, wild.
Yeah, no, this is interesting though, bro, because we kind of got a 50-50 split here, like Precise and Official, or Precise and Cam was here before. They said Porter won. Official said Ugas won. You said Ugas won. So we got a little bit of everything in here.
Yeah,
because it was a close. It was a close fight.
No, it was a close fight. And listen, now can I give my now I'm going to shit on Ugas. That fucking kid, you don't get an opportunity like that and sit. Listen, I understand you're a counterpuncher, dude. I understand it's your bread and butter because he's excellent at it. He'll make you miss, and if you do miss, he's going to make you pay. But when the other dude is doing everything he can to avoid, you got to press the action. So shame on him because Absolutely. I'll tell you right now, right? Shame on him because if the fight was there for him to win, he just didn't take it.
Exactly. So, yeah, Porter was backing up. You know, I don't think any of us expected that he was going to back up.
Nope. And what's his name said too, and Ugas said, and after and stuff, he was talking to one of the Spanish reporters, and he was telling him that he thought the way Porter was running from him, the judges were seeing that. He thought he was going to get more credit for that, the ring generalship, which is true. You know what I mean? And again, as a person, I like Porter. I don't know anything about this kid, Ugas. I'm sure he's, had a terrible life in Cuba. How can anybody have a really great life there? But, I mean, you can have a great family life. I don't want to shit on the Cuban people. You know what I mean? Living under that kind of dictatorship. Personal freedoms is what I meant. But I like Kenny Porter a lot, Sean's dad. And he's one of the fucking most honest guys in boxing. So I take no pleasure in saying he lost. But I truly believe if you look at everything, the cleaner, harder punches. You look at the faces too, man. Not that I shouldn't even say that because I don't like saying that. I don't even know why I scratch that. I'm not a proponent of fucking, look at the face, because everybody swells different. But Sean normally isn't a big sweller, and his fucking right eye was jacked. I'm sure today he was squinting.
Oh, yeah.
Ugas was bleeding from the mouth, and he was lumped up too, though. Like, I thought Sean Porter landed the cleaner, harder shots. He was the one hurting his opponent. I didn't really see Ugas landing very many hard punches. The body shots, yeah, those were hard. When he loaded up, and that's one thing he can do, is throw an uppercut to the body. Those had power on them, but not all of them landed very cleanly. And as far as the headshots, I mean, Sean was snapping his head back with his jab all night. Like, but not that much, but...
No, not that. No, and I agree. And listen, and again, I put this on Ugas. That was there for him to win. And we have the high sight of listening to corners. To hear what Kenny was saying was, at the end, he's like, what are you doing? He was concerned. You could tell Kenny's dad was like, what are you doing? Because I believe I've never seen Porter go backwards like that. Obviously, he got his bell rung. That was definitely got. Remember, he was a little goofy legged, I think, at the end of the third. And I think that he had a game plan. He wanted to show he wasn't a fucking bull rush. But when it was on the line, like, why would he have decided? Like, I think in the 8th round he did. He decided to stand and they stand to exchange. But by the end of it, it was Ugas pushing him backwards because he got the better of the exchanges. I just think, but then again, I'd like to, he should get a fucking punishment. Honestly, I would have been happy with a draw because the way I looked at it was one guy working hard not to be in a fight and the other kid not taking advantage of an opportunity.
Yeah.
He had 3 losses. He beat 6 good guys to come back. And he beat him in good fashion. And it just was there. And I'm like screaming at the TV. I'm like, dude, it's right there. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, I was too.
Yeah, there's something.
It definitely seems.
But it wasn't there. That's the thing. It wasn't there. If it were there, he would have taken it. He didn't take it because Sean Porter was beating the shit out of him. He was hurting him on the way.
The consensus by most reporters in the crowd was booing.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the crowd was booing.
Look. The reason why Sean Porter went backwards is because he sparred this dude. He's massive, all right? I know they're listed like the same height on Boxrec. Bullshit. The guy is a massive welterweight. I think we could all agree on that. And he takes a good-ass punch. Sean sparred this dude, and he prepared to box this guy because he knows he can't really hurt him like he could hurt other guys, right? So that's why he, I think, decided to box. He said he was going to, and he did. Now, the reason why Ugas wasn't coming in and selling out is because Porter was when he made him come to him, Porter was able to walk him into hard shots, and Ugas he took his confidence away. First of all, he took his jab away from him in the second round, and out jabbed him the whole fight. And then he just took his confidence away from him. I don't give
Well,
a fuck.
Ugas has never been a big jabber. From what I've seen in his fights, that's not his
Yeah,
thing. It's a shame.
but
He should, 'cause he got a nice one.
But like
What?
I don't care because people are talking about this dude like showing off and posturing. I don't give a damn about any of that. Like the kid
I
was
don't like that kid.
frustrated.
If you
The
start
kid,
yelling and talking, that's stupid. If I'm a trainer, you tell a kid, because you're talking to your opponent, you're not focusing.
but look, why was he hitting Sean Porter after the bell so much? Why was he tripping him up? Why was he trying to pick him up and throw him through the canvas? Because he was frustrated. Sean Porter frustrated the shit out of this kid. He took he wanted to just he thought Sean Porter was gonna come right at him and he was just gonna sit back and counterpunch because that's what he's good at. And Sean Porter said, I'm gonna take that away from you. I'm gonna have you come to me so I could counterpunch you. And it was a brilliant game plan. Let me finish. I don't think Sean Porter gets. I don't think Sean Porter gets enough. I don't think he gets enough credit. Look, when he comes forward and he's smothering his punches, it's ugly, his headbutt and blah blah blah, right? When he decides to sit back and box, why didn't he just go after him? It's like, come on, man. The guy's not very good. Sean Porter isn't great at anything, but he's very versatile and he can do it all. Just not that great. And he adjusted to his opponent. And I think I gave him 2 rounds, just for the record. I thought Ugas won 2 rounds. That's it.
Yeah,
and again, it's all at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's all opinion. But the majority of the opinion, definitely on the Twitter sphere and amongst writers, amongst professional fighters, all saying Ugas won. Nobody's calling it a robbery for the most part. Some people are, but most right across the board have Ugas winning that fight.
Well,
the crowd last night was booing.
Yeah, I can see both of yours uses.
Listen, I would have been happy. I didn't say it was a fuck. I would have been happy with a draw, without a doubt. I would have been happy with that. But I agree with the crowd. I thought Ugas was the ring general. I thought fucking Sean. I didn't like the way he tackling him every time they fucking. He wouldn't even do it. He would just tackle him. I'm such a. I hate that. Yeah. So I come down on guys when they do that, when there's no reason to. It's not like you even throw a punch. You just reach out and tackle somebody. Back in the day, you didn't get away with it. Like, look at fights in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s even. You didn't see that. That wasn't a fucking thing. You would get penalized. Ref would be like, okay, there's a warning, dude. You can't just grab a dude. Yeah. This is fighting.
Well, I can see what both of you guys are saying, though. Like like Jimmy said, it was there for him to go take it. He didn't take it. But at the same time, like what Precise is saying, he was frustrated, so he was tripping him up and et cetera, so forth.
Porter's best accent, my take, is his athleticism. That kid is great. I guarantee you, Porter's the kind of kid he goes one-on-one with you in basketball, he's going to beat you. He can play football. He can play baseball. You know what I mean? He's just a great athlete. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw the fight, and yeah. And then later I read comments, through the YouTube, and I've seen a lot of comments, in other words. And my mind, you know what I think when they say that Ugas won? I can't, my mind can't say yes, or I can't think of anything. It's just like, whatever, like, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
You got no emotional, you just don't, bland.
No, I just can't my mind can't think like, oh, yeah, he won. The thought doesn't even cross my mind that he won or that he lost. It's just very hard to score a fight like that, because they either or didn't do sufficiently enough to clearly say, or for anybody to say, yeah, this guy, they must be boxing experts, everybody that I see online saying that Ugas won, because obviously they're seeing something that I cannot see, because when the idea crosses my mind, I can't just go to Ugas, yeah, he won in my mind. So
what about Porter?
Porter, he was trying very hard. But like I was saying, he was boxing from the outside, and he was a shorter guy. He's not nowhere near the size of the other guy. So he was missing a lot. He was missing a lot. But to his credit, you know what I can say about him? And he can be somebody that's very frustrating to fight against, because I can't put my finger on it, but he's very like squirmish. He doesn't hit very cleanly. Like I was saying, even when he's up close, he doesn't hit you with the knuckle, he hits you with the laces. So from the outside, if he can't even hit you from up close, like really cleanly all the time, how is he going to hit you cleanly when he's trying to fight out of range? That's why he was missing a lot because he can't zero in his punches the way he would like to. I mean, but with that being said, he's gonna hit you because he's very physical, you know. But what I have to say is that what I have to say is that to his defense, like he's very squirmish, so it must be very frustrating to fight against him. But at the same time, it's like a hindrance because when he tries to hit you himself, he has like a lot of nervous energy and he can't sit down on his punches to where he focus that energy to hit you cleanly. That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, it's hard to hit him because that same nervous energy that makes him like kind of squirmish doesn't allow you to hit on him cleanly as well. You know,
Hey, did you hear Kenny Porter, his dad? Just wanted to say real quick, I think that was awesome. His dad, that's why I like him on him. He's so honest, man. He was before the fight. He was saying that he needed to get he needed to Sean. He was getting money, the baby. He was happens to all fighters. They become soft, and he needed to get him focused. Anyways, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I just think that's part of the reasons why I like Kenny so much. He's honest.
He seems like a good dude, Jimmy. Yeah.
But I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Porter as a fighter. Neither Ugas.
In the chat, the Fight Scott says that both fighters failed. Paul Johnson said that Porter won, and I'm not interested in a rematch either because Porter was fooling around. Violence News Network is actually going after Precise. He says that he can score a fight.
That's not true.
Yeah, I know. This guy hasn't been watching the fucking show. New Day says Spence already docked Ugas, then he called him out. Shlomo says that Precise is 100% right. So there's a lot of mixed kind of
mixed opinions.
Yeah, mixed opinions.
Put it this way, I wouldn't pay for a ticket to see either one of those guys fight now. After that, no, I wouldn't. I just didn't fucking. I just think you have an opportunity like that, and his life could have changed so much. But even if he was losing or winning, that's irrelevant. I'm just saying, when you got a guy who's, like, why aren't you throwing your hands? You know what I mean? I understand you're a counter puncher, but are you that one dimensional that you can't let your hands go?
Yeah.
But Porter, like, his defense is a hard guy to hit.
From the beginning of the fight, I don't know what you guys think about that knockdown. I don't think it was legitimate, but I was gonna say from the beginning of the fight, I thought to myself, this I did know, not 100%, but this is what I thought. In this fight, no one's getting knocked out. This is like a glorified sparring session. This is what it is. It's rough and tumble, but I don't know if any of these guys, maybe Ugas has a little bit more power. But I could just tell in this fight, nobody was going to get knocked out.
Let me ask. Oh, I'm sorry, Gonzalo. Go ahead, buddy.
No, that's it. I'm not saying they don't have power, but they didn't fight like they came to land a punch that, you're going to hurt the other guy. You can't really say that. I'm just saying that was my thinking. This is like a glorified sparring session, and nobody's going to get knocked out. So it's just going to be like that.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of disappointed in Porter because, and here I'm not talking about scoring the fight, but seeing the beginning, I really liked what Porter was doing. He was boxing darting in and out, but as I said, from the second round on, he was just staying on the outside, while I thought he was doing a great job going in and out when he was more aggressive, more determined to attack. But from a couple of minutes in, he just started to attack.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you guys this. Now, if Porter and Thurman were to rematch, who would you favor in that one? If they were to have a rematch right now?
Right now, myself, I'd go with Porter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had him in the first one anyways.
Yeah, Porter, just based on his physicality, the other guy doesn't fight enough. He's always
just by Thurman's look. You see, even his face, his eyes. He doesn't even have it in his eyes anymore. He married this woman, I guess, from what I read, is a wicked pacifist, which must be kind of, I don't know. I don't know if that's an issue. I don't know. Maybe she fucking shits on him fighting. Who knows?
Who, Thurman?
Yeah, his wife. He fell head over heels in love when he met her, and I read the whole story. Believe me, let me save you from the story. It was horrible. But the gist of it was, he just, absolutely worships this woman because his personality too. He's working into philosophy, and which I'm not. That's cool. It's almost. It's not something usually you see fighters get into. You know.
Every time I hear pacifist, I think of when John Goodman whips the piece out of that guy at the bowling alley on fucking Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski, yeah. Hey, I haven't seen the Bivol fight yet. I was just too tired after I was out last night, fucking drinking like an idiot. And I don't normally ever drink, but so I didn't see it yet. Is it any good? Is it boring?
It was not very exciting. It was not very exciting, Jimmy. I think that Bivol was doing a great job from the technical standpoint, and his footwork was like really, really, really amazing. Just staying on inches outside of.
But we already knew that, right?
Yeah, exactly. But he pressed too much. You know what the problem? Like in his maybe. I'd say it was even worse than in his previous fights because he was content with the jabbing. He was not really trying to mix it up too much.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Bivol, you know, he won. It wasn't like an argument like Ugas and Porter, but that Joe Smith is a tough son of a bitch, dude. I'll tell you what, that kid is a tough motherfucker. And he had his moments though. He cracked Bivol a couple of times. So.
Yeah, and Joe Smith, he got a good body. He got a good body slam off too. Real good body slam.
Yeah, but man, he hit him after the belt. So it was a second or two after the bell. He hit him and then he was rocked, but he took it well. And by the way, a couple of times Bivol rocked him really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Smith did a good job, you know, being that the other guy is such a good boxer, you know. He really tried Smith, you know. But I have to say one thing about Dmitry Bivol. He's really, really a good fighter. And, you know, I know fighters do this a lot. They drop their hands. And, you know, and they can get away with it because they're used to, like, gauging the distance. You know, but to that being said, Smith did land an overhand right on Bivol a few times. You know, he's a power puncher, and I'm just thinking to myself, what is this guy? You know, he just thinks he can deal with it with this power because he's a small light heavyweight. You know, but he was dropping his hands and he was getting hit. In other words, Dmitry Bivol carries his right hand very low. You know.
Yeah, well, that's what Cam was saying. Cam just jumped back on. I will get to him in a second.
His left hand, his jab hand. I mean, correction.
Yeah, well,
it's a fight, bro. People get hit. Come on.
Yeah, no, I was just because Cam was on before we and he said I'm not completely sold on the fact that Bivol's the best light heavyweight in the world, and I gotta say I'm not either. He's in the discussion, but I'm not. It's not like, you know.
Why were people saying he's the best? Like based on what?
Well,
like,
no, that's what I mean. Well, that's a lot of people's opinion. That's what I was like. It's an argument because you still got Fosdick and Kovalev's up there in age, but he's still dangerous. So it's you know.
I don't understand why anybody would say that. Like he's the best because if anybody is the best, it's got to be Sergey, right? I mean, he's the proven one. But as far as like in my opinion, he's got the best skills or not, I never thought that personally. I don't, he might, but we got to see these fights basically.
Well, that's what I said. He might. He's got the skills. He might be. We don't know that yet.
I'm enthralled with his footwork. I think he has unbelievable footwork. I'm not sold on everything else, but I just think his footwork is unbelievable. The way he dots. Yeah. And I'm not sold on his killer instinct. And now you guys are saying it was pretty much the same. I don't know. But, yeah, no, I agree with Precise and Kovalev without a doubt. And it pisses me off because the way that the things would happen with Ward, like, how does that diminish him? You know what I mean? He gets robbed in one fight, gets sold out by his trainer, is actually calling his opponent and telling him what to do. He's not training, go for the body. I mean, Ward comes out, doesn't even throw a jab. First punch I think he throws is at the body. It was so insane. Remember, and when he was hurt, he didn't even throw upstairs. He came downstairs. It was so obvious what he was doing. So, whatever. So fucking that ended on a bad an illegal punch. So, people, I don't understand how Sergey couldn't be considered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even taking awards shit, right? I agree with Precise. Sergey by far is the man.
Yeah.
I mean,
he
like
got knocked out by
everybody
a-
agrees. Everybody agrees he beat Ward. Even if you want to give the second fight to Ward, which is ridiculous, they went 1-1, right?
Absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
even though he got knocked out in the first fight against Alvarez, he came back and beat him too. So he's the proven guy in the division. Yeah.
Soundly beat him. I mean,
Yeah.
fucking really showed him that first fight was exactly what it was. It was a fluke. Head wasn't on straight. That was about as impressive. That fucking second fight with Alvarez was about as impressive as I think he's ever been.
Yeah.
He looked great.
Yeah, well, and that's what I say. Even if you, for some reason, wanted to give Ward that second fight, he still got fucking robbed blind in the first one. But I'm not really
Rob blind, which has a bad effect. And never mind, yes. And listen, people say, well, he was crouching down. He crouched down because he was expecting the ref to do his job and say, okay, time out. You just got fucking nut-shotted. That's the reason why he wasn't responding to the ref. Well, he wasn't responding. Yeah, because he was just punched in the... Oh, please, that pisses me off.
Well, he was probably thinking, okay, they're going to stop the action and take some points away from Ward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Of course. What else was he supposed to do?
Insane. So fucking then they turn around and call a fight. And then that's what I don't like about boxing, to be honest with you. Like, and then it just becomes part of the narrative. Everybody on Twitter, well, you guys, you lost the award, so what the fuck? Did you not see what happened? Doesn't contents matter?
Yeah. What's up, Cam? Do you want to get your 2 cents in on that one, buddy? It's the birthday boy. How you doing?
Well, it is in 4.
Hey, happy birthday, brother. Happy birthday, Cam.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I agree with what Precise was saying. I was going to jump in and Precisely, I was going to say, based on resume and things like that, like everyone knows Kovalev won the first Ward fight. So yeah, based on resume, you got to go on the resume. Then again, these guys need to fight each other as well. Bivol, Gvozdyk, Kovalev. These guys need to fight each other to really establish who's the man. I mean, I want to say Beterbiev as well, but that guy's just so inactive. He's lost so much of his prime career already, Beterbiev. I just don't know what's going on with him, but these guys need to fight.
I think they're trying to make Beterbiev Kovalev, but who knows how that's going to pan out. But I think they're trying to, at least. I mean,
I got Sergey in that one, by the way, if it does happen.
Me
Just
too.
saying. Just
Me
saying.
too.
But like, if I were to make a call right now, I made this call months ago, maybe more than a year ago, like who the best, most talented, most technically sound, like pound for pound, not most proven guy at 175 is, to me, that's Gvozdyk. Like, I've always said that. But, they got to fight the fights. We don't know. And as far as Bivol goes, I was very impressed. I'm very impressed with the guy. I don't mean to, because I don't consider him the best necessarily, that doesn't mean that I don't think he's very good. He's very good. And the most impressive thing about him, for me, is his discipline. And Gonzalo's right. Like, he does hold his left hand a little low, and he could get cracked with some crazy overhand rights, as he did the other night. But, it's a fight. Everybody's going to get hit, right? And to me, his defense, he's like a perfect blend of defense and offense. He's not just going to sell out, but it's not easy to hit him. And I think Smith, he really had to struggle to get his punches through. And he just might be, in my opinion, Bivol. I can't say he's too small for 175, but I think his size, the fact that he is smaller than the other guys, might actually work against him when he gets to that tippy top.
He did say he wants to move down to 168, didn't he? He spoke about this. He'll go down to 68 for fights.
I mean, Smith looked massive next to him. Maybe they were the same height, but Smith's shoulders were just, so much wider.
He was way stockier than him. Yeah.
Yeah, he would clean up at 168. Jesus.
Yeah, it's a pretty open division, that.
Well, I was going to say, if he goes down to 168, then the power might kick in too. And yeah, you might have a real fucking problem on your hands there.
Him and Callum Smith should swap weights, really. I mean, Callum Smith should be at 175. Bivol should be at 168.
Hey guys, listen.
Jared Hurd, give me that one.
hey guys, I just want to say because I came at Sergey hard when those allegations first came out about that woman, because I have nothing to do with dudes who beat on women, especially guys who train with their hands. But since then, a lot of shit's come to light. I don't know if you guys are following that. Her responses to shit make me question a lot of it. The fact that she's talking about it. Usually when people make shit up, they talk about it laughing. Like she's fluff about it. Oh, and money, money, money. That's all she's talking about. So this fucking drunk bitch probably fell and broke her fucking nose and looking to get paid. I'm starting to really believe that.
Yeah, well, see, you know what my thing is, Jimmy? When I hear one of these dudes hit some broad or something, bro, if it's like accusation after accusation after accusation like Floyd, then you know he's pulling some shit, or, you know. But if it's just like the one incident, I'm like, we got to...
And how old is he?
33,
how old?
32. Or no, Kovalev, he's
39. 34, 35.
Yeah, so, this isn't... That doesn't just happen, you know what I mean? Like, if you're beating women, he's been living here long enough. There would have been other, at least, like you said, smoked his fire. But the fact that this fucking woman, every interview I see her, and the fact that she's looking again on interviews is unbelievable. To me, I just think it's starting to really get a bad fucking, almost that college rape thing, you know, with those strippers, UV or whatever. It's starting to have that kind of ring to it.
Is this the woman that Kovalev supposedly...
exactly,
right,
Kim. Yep. She's if you listen to this bimbo, the fact that she would just start out with talking about $8 million. She actually quoted his purse at one point. So she's like fucking emailing his purse and just talking to radio shows. So she's using public. If he really did assault her, she'd just wait for the case. And the fact that Kovalev looks so sharp against Alvarez, that tells me that it's obviously not weighing on his mind. And if he is, he can compartmentalize pretty damn well. Because if that was true, he's facing a lot of time in jail.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say. If it's one thing, if it's fucking R. Kelly or Bill Cosby who's just getting accused after accused after accused, when it's just the one incident, I take it with a grain of salt, because you don't know if this bimbo is just trying to squeeze some money out of it or whatever have you. And we just got recognized. So what's up, recognized, bro?
What's up, Johnny boy? What's up, everybody?
What's going on,
kid?
Good, recognize.
What up, bro? Did you watch the fights, dude?
I couldn't, man. Obligations.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't really watch any of the fights. Although I did catch a 10-minute video, basically the best highlights of Ugas and Porter. So I'm not going to really make a judgment. I think the fight looked kind of sloppy from the best highlights of the fight. If that's the best highlights, then the fight looked pretty sloppy.
Yeah, a regular PBC event.
Yeah. We will recognize. Let me put it to you this way: we kind of got a 50-50 split here of about who thought who won. You know, Precise thinks Porter won, and a couple other people. Cam thought Porter won.
I had Porter winning 8-4.
Yeah, and a couple other people think Ugas won, so we kind of got a split.
Which is odd, because I normally 99% of the time I agree with Cam, and it's just weird how people could see it different, right? Because normally it's almost always with Cam, and I think this is probably the first time we've disagreed on a fight, but
can't agree on everything, man.
Right, exactly. Nothing personal. It's the fucking fight. I could tell you, I think we all agree that they both didn't do their reputations for selling, tickets any better. I just can't believe Porter thought that's what people want to see. I mean, people want to see that train wreck who comes in and I'm going to bash you either with my head, my fists, and it was a Tasmanian devil. You know what I mean? I just don't, whatever. I guess he wanted to show. I guess he got tired of hearing people talk like that. So
you guys carry on for a second. I'm going out to smoke.
What did you guys make of
rules?
Jimmy, what did you make of Porter's actual performance?
I didn't. I just thought it was a disaster. I don't think there was selling tickets. I think, pragmatically, I mean, again, the crowd was chanting his name in the beginning, and in the middle of the fight, they started chanting Ugas. And it wasn't even, I'm not saying because they thought Ugas won. I thought a lot of those boos had more to do with the way he was ending rounds and grabbing and avoiding the action. I just, that was my opinion. I like guys who come to fight, which he normally does. So I think people, imagine paying that money, tickets, the fucking park and all that bullshit. You get there thinking, yeah, at least with Porter, it's going to be a fucking war. And all of a sudden, he's fucking Amir Khan dancing around the ring. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, the knockdown, or the not the knockdown.
Supposed knockdown.
Yeah. That wasn't a knockdown, bro.
Absolutely.
No, I think we all agreed on this earlier on. There wasn't a knockdown.
Okay.
I think officials said it wasn't. Revolution said it wasn't.
I've heard so many people, like, I've heard, not that I've heard a lot, but I've seen some titles, like, They didn't call it. The referee missed a knockdown, and Ugas won the fight. This was just a total robbery, you know. Yeah, it's just it's like I said, man. I didn't watch the fight, but Ugas he just fights ugly, man. I don't like the way the guy fights. Like I like his stance, but I don't like his, you know, his punching technique. It's very poor punching technique.
Yeah, his stance is pretty cool, like a praying mantis.
Yeah. It's you know, it's a good stance. It's a, you know, it helps you to be the counter puncher a lot better. But it's just that his punching technique again, man, was bad. It was just bad punching technique. He's hitting like behind, like, you know, with the fucking palm. Is, you know, slapping punches that don't do damage. So that's what I got from the 10-minute highlights.
I don't like that. I don't like that he didn't make adjustments. How many times did he have to get caught hitting fucking lead shots to Porter's body, and fucking Porter caught him with the right? Poof! Yeah. He went like 5 times in a row before he finally, like, Jesus, dude, he finally caught on. So I thought that was pretty silly of him.
And what happened with the? I still haven't seen anything on the Bivol and Joe Smith fight. How did you guys see that?
Smith had his moments, but Bivol, you know, clearly won it.
Yeah, he won about every round.
Just about.
Cheers to Punish in the chat for saying happy birthday, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, you're from New York, brother. Because I only met one person who said they know of Joe Smith from Long Island. So I hate hearing just one opinion. Oh, you know of him? This kid I met.
I don't know him, but I know of him.
Oh, okay. So the same type of thing. This kid, you could tell by his accent. I'm like, no shit. You're not watching the fights tonight? Your boy Joe. You go, fuck him. He's a prick, dude. People I know who know him, he's a fucking punk. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, wicked asshole. So I'm just saying, and I even said, I'm like, really? All right, because I don't know from home wall. That was what this kid said. So was this kid just talking drunk stupidity, or?
I mean, listen, from what this is what I gather. Like, Joe Smith grew up in Long Island. He grew up in Smithtown. Smithtown is a pretty rugged neighborhood. I could see him having like a sort of a chip on his shoulder. From what I understand, he's really like never got into any trouble. He's in the union. He's an iron worker. Where I live at, I live where most of the guys, that's the work that they do. So some of them actually know who he is, and they said that he's a very strong dude. He's cool, and he could punch a fucking.
He probably knocked out one of his fucking knucklehead's friends one night.
Yeah, probably did.
And his kids run, yeah, exactly.
Because like Smithtown is known for like little fight clubs and shit like that. Like everybody knows if you're from Long Island or you're from New York, anywhere close to that town, everybody knows like Smithtown is like a little fight club area. You could go over
reputation
there.
For fighters, kids fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like some of the toughest white guys come from there.
Speaking of which, I think it was Gonzalo brought it up. Caleb Plant's mother got whacked by the cops, apparently.
What the hell is that about?
Joe, man,
this dude got a crazy story, man. That dude
he lost his daughter, he won the belt, and now his mum's been shot. I
don't know, man. Listen, I'm not judging the kid.
His mum was what?
His mum was
shot and killed by police?
Deputy,
by sheriff or a deputy?
Deputy officer, I think it was.
No, she pulled a knife on a cop. I was reading the article. That's what it said. She pulled a knife on the cop.
Are they gonna protest? Are we gonna see protests?
I hope so.
Yeah, she's not black.
Was the cop?
I'm not
Latino or Asian or something?
But if she's white, is she white?
Yeah.
There's been no protests. Nobody gives a fuck.
It's a fucking.
Just being honest. Nobody gives a fuck.
It's a fucking shame that race is like the first thing that comes up when we think about this,
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah.
A cop killed somebody. What color are they?
It sucks. It's unbelievable. and that's what sucks with because it really bothers me, all the black kids who get killed in Chicago shooting each other like they call it Chirac. Those young lives being snuffed out over nothing. Where's all the outrage? Where's Black Lives Matter? You know what I mean? Why they only show up You know, when there's fucking because the media loves to sell the narrative. The only thing the media hates more than white people are fucking black cops.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, they got so many fucking gangs out here, bro. Like gangs that aren't even in like different parts of the country, like Gangster Disciples and Kings and
Vice Lords.
Yeah, Vice Lords, Blackstones.
Yep. Black Gangster Disciples. You guys have a lot of street gangs. Chicago has the most street gangs of any city in the country.
Yeah, it's between that and L.A. That's the two.
But L.A. is dominated by the fucking Mexican, Crip, and Blood, and then there's offshoots. But for complete different groups dating back from the 40s and 30s, you got Chicago. Vice Lords, they've been around since the 40s, I believe.
Yeah, that man Latin King's been King started in the 40s too. They fucking.
You ever heard of 2-6?
Oh,
2-6s? Have you ever heard of PWA?
Yeah.
Polacks with attitude?
Yeah.
No. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Wait. I know you guys, like, I think Precise, you spent time in Chicago and
that's how
Johnny
I know.
Boy.
Yeah.
Like, I hear, like, there's a PWA. I've never heard of that. I have to be honest with you. But over here in New York, I was gonna tell you guys, in New York, like it's not lawless crime. Like, look, I'm very honest, and I am Spanish, so there's no lawlessness like the way blacks and Spanish gangs are, right? I mean, they just shoot and kill each other wherever they're at, you know. But there is like this little gangster element that's going on in Brooklyn between the Serbians and I want to say the Polish, or they will call them the Polacks.
Yeah,
the Chechens too.
They always beefing with each other now, and it's like, right? Like, okay, like I said, sometimes in my job I have to hire other people to do certain things because there's certain things that my guys can't do. It's not their field, right? Or it's not my field either. And so I will have to hire some of these guys, and a lot of them are from Eastern Europe, right? And there's this one guy that I hire. He brings in his guys. He's Polish guy, and his boy got beat up like real bad. I said, "Hey, what happened to the young guy? Like the young guy just came and he left." He said, "Oh, I have to like let him go. You know, he's getting into too many gang fights." I was like kind of interested. He said too many gang fights.
You know what, record?
I thought he said gun fights.
He said, well, I mean, maybe, but
probably.
He said, gang fights. So I said, where does he live? He's like, oh, he lives in Brighton Beach, by Brighton Beach, where there's like a big Eastern European population. And he goes, we have problems with the Serbians, and the Serbians, he's fighting with them, and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So he kind of broke it down. I was like, wow.
That's Sex Money Magic. I mean, Sex Money, those boys from your neighborhood, they were fucking murderous fiends. They would open fire at basketball games. What was it, Sex Money?
Murder.
What's that?
Sex Money Murder, I think it was.
Yeah, Sex Money Murder. Yeah, that group of fucking dudes from the projects. They put 37 bodies on them in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
They were executing kids everywhere.
It's funny. Precise brought that up. I think Recognize was on the one time I told him when I sparred with that Mexican kid Juanito. He was a 2-6er, actually, believe it or not.
26th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's becoming a problem now in New York is the MS-13. Or at least the media is making it seem that way.
Dude, they're out here even. At least I'm seeing tags. It could just be some stupid kids copying. But
South America, yeah, you got even though not. Where are you again? You said no.
Ecuador.
Ecuador, excuse me. They're really from Honduras and El Salvador, and some in Mexico. From the way
I've been seeing their tags around, so I don't know if it's just a bunch of imitators but it's kind of crazy because out here it's not really like that.
There's a fight that gets caught on video because for like forever, MS-13 has been big in Long Island, especially like Suffolk County. It's been really big over there, but they're like moving into Queens and it's this area called Jackson Heights. So Jackson Heights is a pretty highly South American population, right? Mainly like Mexicans and I want to say Colombians and Ecuadorians. But anyway, so there's a fight that gets caught on video, and the guy that was getting his ass whipped pulls out a gun and shoots the guy like 5 times in his face. Of course, they blurt that part out. The guy that did it was an MS-13 guy fighting with like a pretty well-known street gang from that area. So that tells me they're trying to make if it's all true, they're trying to make their way into that area, which would make sense because there's a lot of South
They're the only gang right now that's MS-13 in Lawrence. The city of Lowell, 2 cities over. They're pretty deep down there. They tried to take hold in the 90s. Want to hear a funny story about MS-13? Why they didn't take hold in our neighborhood down here? Have you guys ever seen that movie called Southie with Mark Wahlberg's brother in it, Donnie Wahlberg?
Yep, I have.
You saw that movie? Okay, excellent. You know when they're sitting at the breakfast table at Donnie Wahlberg's house, and one of his brothers, who was actually his real brother in real life, one of the Wahlbergs, he had a green Celtic shirt on, and it was just a basketball hoop, right? And it said O'Halloran's basketball tournament, right? And dude, that whole thing, I was told that he had it on, and I haven't seen the movie. I saw the movie and see that pop. Somebody told me he had that shirt on. He goes, dude, you see that? I'll tell you, everybody was wearing those shirts in the 90s. Let me tell you about MS-13 and that shirt, how that's tied in. MS-13 started coming around here in like 1993, 94. They started popping around. And then it was they were known for raping girls, and I guess they raped these. You could look, it was in the paper and shit, but they were raping special need girls, everything. So they moved into with the Hallorans, they like Charlestown, where all the bank robberies and all the fucking armored cars, like that 1 mile block area, as Boston has more bank robbers and fucking armored cars than anywhere else in the country. So O'Halloran's over the projects, the basketball field right on 95, the highway. MS-13 started showing up there in big numbers, like 10 guys, and they were selling heroin and cocaine out of there. So one night, Halloran's brothers and shit all went over and they said, listen, fuck off with that shit. Don't sell it here. Even though all those guys ended up pretty much being junkies, but that's a side point. But so what happened, they were playing basketball, the MS-13. O'Halloran just got home from the Army, got up in his fucking bedroom, took out a carbine. When the kid jumped up to take a fucking dunk, pop, put one right to his fucking head. It was all over the place. Yeah, right to his. So everybody started wearing O'Halloran's basketball tourney shirts. Everybody, the cops knew, but they couldn't, Charlestown, I don't know if you guys ever heard of that movie Townie. They're known for their silence. Like, you could fucking literally do an armored car job, leave the car running, like jump out of your car and run into probably 100 different houses in Charlestown, and there'd be old ladies. No, we didn't see nothing. Beat it. It was just such criminal element there. But, yeah, no, that's all. That's how I use my MS-13. They scattered like cockroaches after that.
Did anybody ever see Bad Boys? Not Will Smith and them, the one with Sean Penn and the Spanish kid, where they're in juvie.
Yep. 1984.
Yeah, that's a badass movie. I fucking love that movie. That's a good one. Well.
What fights are on this weekend coming then?
Mikey Garcia?
Yeah. Oh, yes, Garcia, Spence, yeah.
Who's that lady, Cameron?
That's my missus, man.
Isn't she a little too old for you?
That's the eighth.
She's younger than me, man. She's what? 2 years younger than me. Yeah, she's 22.
Oh shit, my bad. She just looks mature, I guess. Mature.
Well, do you know what? I hope she's listening, but I wouldn't say that. Fucking hell.
I told you, like I say, Cam, just don't be hawking up cigarette phlegm on her back like your boy does over here. You know what I mean?
Oh man, trust us. I was smoking out the other weekend we were out, and she fucking despises it, man. I was like, fuck's sake. Get to fuck.
Who hacked up on the back of a chick? Who did that?
Yeah, Johnny boy.
What?
Fucking
Jesus Christ.
Blunt phlegm, and when I was younger.
Oh God.
You put out a video, Carneval? Precise?
Say what?
You put out a video on the fight next week? I think I heard something about that on the chat.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to trigger some Mikey fanboys. I just don't understand the hype, man. I don't.
You put out a video, dude, on it?
Oh, it's just like a hour fucking long film study showing.
Yeah, but you should. Oh, I know. I'm glad you guys. Thanks for bringing that up. No, I like your work, dude. I'm going to check that out after.
Someone I know very well who's actually I've got a lot of respect for in terms of boxing opinion. They actually think Garcia is going to win this fight, and I'm like, Fucking, I can't see that.
Did they tell you how?
No, I don't know. They just, I can't even remember what they did tell me how. I can't remember what they said, but it was something to do with Garcia boxing on the outside or something. I was like, fucking hell, like, you're right, mate. You know what I mean?
Box until he gets caught with a fucking
I personally
jab.
don't see it, but you're right, Cam. A lot of people do think that. Garcia, a lot of people in Southern California, because Steve was saying a lot of people, especially in the camp, his camp, which is, of course, but they all think he has this secret thing and they know something that they're going to expose.
No, they don't, bro. Look,
I can't see how they're going to get past that size.
Apparently Garcia's special, but that's what a lot of people think, right? Like, I don't see this special fighter in Garcia. I never have. Like, he's a good fighter, but I've never seen him like this special breed of fighter.
Which isn't to say that Spence is special, but I mean,
no.
He's that much bigger. You know what I mean? And as far as what you're saying, Jimmy, like them saying that that's what they think. No, bro. Like I know that's what they're saying. That's all they're saying. But I was listening really closely to what Robert had to say. And look, just because whatever they think, obviously that's not going to determine the outcome of the fight, right? Anything could happen. But they don't look confident to me, man, because when you listen to them extended interviews and people start pressing Robert, he's just like, well, it's a fight that Mikey wanted. We told him not to take it, but he really wanted that fight.
He changed his mind because in the beginning, he didn't want it to happen. He was, when they first approached him on it, he was dead against it. He's like, that's ridiculous. He's too big.
It's a money fight, man. He's going for the money.
Doesn't look good no matter what. He either has to destroy him. If he destroys him, people are going to say, well, of course you did. He's two sizes.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation for Spence.
It's a lose-lose situation. Exactly. That's all it is. It's a cash grab. But Garcia, though, if he does get knocked out, though, that takes away his bargaining. Because, again, you know, if he was to win, if he tries to bargain, you know, make that fight with Lomachenko, that's huge weight. That's a 50-50 fight. If he now gets knocked out, how is he going to go to Lomachenko and ask for 50-50? I just was on a pay-per-view and got knocked out.
and what titles does he have right now? The WBA or is it the WBC?
WBC, yeah.
He's got the WBC lightweight title. That's why I was saying before, if he's not going to go back to 135, he needs to cough it up and let two of these other guys fight for it.
But
that's the weight you should be at.
Yeah, the WBA, they got a rule. If you go up this weight or you go down a weight and you have a title in the weight class you ain't fighting in right now and you lose in this other weight class, you lose your title. Which
that's
I think should,
right? Against Loma.
Yeah, exactly. It should be that way, I believe, because you're coming off a loss and you win the championship fight.
I agree.
Like, no.
I agree 100%.
Like imagine you getting knocked out. You're a champion at another weight class. You getting knocked out the way Khan did. Like nobody's gonna respect you as a champion.
Yeah,
like,
but you know he's Mexican. He's Mexican, and it's the WBC title, so he probably will. No matter what happens to him, he'll probably have that title.
Are you saying Marcelo Suleiman from Mexico City is biased towards Mexican fighters?
No, not at all.
You know when Garcia moved on for Lipinets, Mauricio Suleiman came out and said, we're going to give Garcia this exemption to fight Lipinets at 140, then he has to come down and fight Linares. It didn't happen then either. Like, of course they're going to keep him as the champion, man.
But I heard somewhere, I don't know where I heard it, but Garcia is saying obviously after this fight with Spence, he's not going back to 135. He's either going to stay at 47 or drop down to 40. So I was thinking the reason he's keeping this belt in that case is that maybe he has some kind of deal with Schaefer or PBC. So kind of like when Floyd after the Berto fight, when he went when he stopped boxing, like he kind of kept those belts for the right time for the other PBC guys to come on and snatch them. So maybe he is to do something similar. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right, official. You're right. I caught him on the Facebook Live. He was in his house, and Robert Garcia, and he said that Mikey's probably going to stay at 147.
Yeah,
fuck out of here.
He was flabby at 140.
He's going to be at 140. He's
not going to be
Garcia.
He's going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't think Garcia knows what he's doing, man.
I think I would seriously consider taking Chris Algieri over Mikey Garcia at welterweight. I'm not even tripping, man. I would seriously think about that.
That's hilarious. Here's I think Precise mentioned this a couple of shows ago. Bro, Duran and Pacquiao and all these guys, they jumped up because
Chris Algieri.
But Pacquiao and Duran are two of the best of all time. Mikey is not fucking Pacquiao or Roberto Duran. Let's just keep it real.
And those guys pack muscle on. Pacquiao has the body where he's a mesomorph, so he can put muscle. Whereas, I mean, how does people overlook the fact that fucking Mickey went life and death versus Lipinets at 140? Yeah. And right after the fight said, my power it carries up, but I feel more comfortable at 135. To have this complete different spin, it's just crazy.
He went life and death with Salido. Like, I know the fight ended prematurely, but Salido was coming on in that fight, man.
Who knocked him down? Who knocked him down? Was it Martinez? Who knocked down Garcia?
Martinez, yeah.
Martinez.
Down.
Yeah, Martinez dropped him.
That's what kills me. I'll hear these dudes, these little Mikey fanboys. I'll be like, well, Linares put him down. I'm like, yeah. Well, fucking Rocky Martinez put your boy down. So
the same fashion, too. I know, right after Lomachenko was put down, everybody's, all these Mickey fanboys were saying, and so somebody tweeted out the exact same thing when he walked. The same thing is just got comfortable, walked into a right, boom, he got seated.
And Mikey got dropped by a smaller guy, and on top of that, he you could tell he took his time to get up. He said, all right, let me just take my time. I got dropped, got back up, and continued to whip his ass.
I don't think he was hurt. I think it was definitely off balance. Caught him right.
He caught him. He dropped him. I'm not saying it hurt him. What it did was it was one of those. Oh shit.
No, I'm kind of asking. I don't really remember. I only seen the GIF and it ends with the landing, so I don't really remember how he acted.
The way he dropped him, he just straight down the pike, right? Boom, in the middle of an exchange. Boom, catches him. He falls down. You could right on his ass. You could see that when he's getting up, as he's getting up, he's like. Yeah, that punch.
So it wasn't Bambi leg, eyes weren't glossy.
No, he was on his ass, man. He sat down. You got put on his ass, and he took.
Put on his ass, yeah.
He got put on his ass like Lomachenko, wasn't
right
here nor there.
Lomachenko when he got dropped, he was pissed. You could see he was pissed at himself. He was like
exactly because he was right away. He was thinking about his father beating him with a yardstick in the yard.
He got dropped by a bigger man than him. On top of that, So
Andre Ward got dropped by Darnell Boone. I mean, come on, man.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
People get dropped, you know what I mean?
It happens.
Not Donnie Stevens so out. Look how he went on to become a champion.
Yeah,
all the top like Connor's been knocked down. All the guys
Stevens got put to sleep by Boone.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Like kind of like when you slip and you're gonna fall, and then you could kind of like anticipate how you're gonna land. That's how like I saw Mikey or like Lomachenko, they just got put on their ass. But like when you get knocked down, it's like you don't know where you're gonna land. You just fucking fall on your face.
Oh yeah, that's why when you do face plant, people almost. How many times you guys remember somebody face planting, like biting the canvas with their face and then getting up?
It's Martin. Oh no, he was flat out.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Somebody get face planted and get up.
No, like Paul Williams against Martinez, man. That's a face plant, man.
Pacquiao,
yeah.
So when they get the double bounce, they get knocked out.
If they'd have let Vargas keep going, I think he would have been the only guy that I've seen his face hit the canvas and get up and want to continue the fight. But the referee just said, "Fuck that! I got to stop this fight."
When Marcus put Pacquiao down the first time, I could tell in Pacquiao's eyes that he was like, "Man, this motherfucker's on something."
Yeah. Where did the power come from, right? Yeah. And it was like a lazy punch too. It wasn't even like a typical Marquez punch. It was this wide right hand.
It was like Pacquiao said, "Dude, he's hit me with this punch before. How come he's dropping me like that?" It just made my body, and it wasn't like a regular drop. It was like a boom. Oh shit! One of those heavy punches that just drops your ass.
We should have stuck with the 2 fights originally, like the 3 original win the third fight.
He's probably thinking, I've been in with this guy like for 80 rounds already, or like 60 rounds, and what the fuck did he just hit me with? Who is this guy?
But that fight, like, we complain a lot about not getting good fights, man. But in the last 10 years, that's probably one of the best fights I've seen, man. Pacquiao Marquez 4.
It must be drinking a urine, but it must fucking develop power or something.
Agreed, precise. Yeah.
Amazing fight.
Pacquiao Marquez 4, yeah.
Hey guys, now listen. What about is it fake, or is the animosity that I see or read about between Spence in Garcia. Do you guys think that's real? Because why I ask, if what is Spence is saying, because he said some, like he doesn't like him. Say if Spence realizes, okay, this kid can't hurt me, and I can really start fucking him up. What happens if he's a vicious prick, pulls like a Kovalev, and decides I'm going to beat you for a few rounds? Like, this could seriously affect, if it doesn't go Mickey's way, and Spence, basically what I'm saying, wants to put a hurt on him and takes him deep and just beats his brains in, he might never be the same.
Yeah, mate.
I
Work at Golovkin.
His brother will throw the towel in, I think.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Okay, that's what I agree. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking.
All you got to do is look at the Orlando Salido fight, and that'll tell you everything. Look at. I know people like to bring up certain circumstances when it comes to Pacquiao, Margarito, Pacquiao, fucking what's this guy's name? Brain dead dude, the other Mexican. I forgot his name.
Brandon Rios.
Brandon Rios, yeah.
Brain dead.
Yeah.
Brain dead Rios.
I was trying to figure out if you were talking about someone in a wheelchair or something.
Look how bad those guys got beat up. Look how bad they got beat up. He didn't stop the fight. But his brother had a little bit of adversity. His nose was facing the other way. He said, "No, he's stopping the fight." And because they were comfortable up on the scorecards. And the
all right. What round is the towel gonna fly in? Come on now. What
I reckon
round?
it's gonna go in the fifth. I reckon it's the
10th
round.
Well, didn't that dude have fucking Rios beating Pacquiao when they threw the towel in too?
Yeah, that guy's retarded though.
Wait.
El Doof.
Who had El Dude win? El Dude had.
No, I'm just remember everything was Mexican. No matter, he even had fucking. It's crazy.
Rios didn't win a fucking round against
Pacquiao.
Rios lost to the fucking sauna.
Man. Rio looked like the elephant man.
He was drunk a week before. I mean, when I heard that he was cocked. Yeah, he did. He lost it. Right?
He beat the shit out of him, man. He got beat the crap out of him. That wasn't even that wasn't a fight, bro. It was just an exhibition of how to whip somebody's ass. That's all that fight was.
I interviewed Brandon Rios fight after the Bradley fight, and he said that 24 hours before the Bradley fight, he passed out in the sauna. So it wouldn't surprise me, man, if he did that against Pacquiao.
No, because that's his training style. He's a fucking mad drunk. He really is. Kid parties like a fucking mental case. Rumors of cocaine use, blows all up in weight, and then it's like, oh shit, I'm fighting in 6 weeks. Should I get up in the morning and run, or should I hang out with these chicks in my local area, fucking blowing up my spot? Fuck. So he picks the latter, and then he just jumps in the sauna and sweats off the weight, and he looks like 50 pounds of chewed bubble gum on fight night.
Yeah, Rios looks like he has AIDS when he's cut down to 147.
Because he just sweats it off. He's a fat, skinny guy. He just sweats out the muscle. He just sits in a fucking sauna.
Dude, you had to see the way he looked when he used to fight at 135.
Yeah, it's when he fought John Murray, man. Oh, he looked terrible. Or was it Abril? One of those fights, he looked horrific.
It
might have been
a Brill, or yeah.
Going through withdrawals in the sauna and shit.
That's just tough. These fighters, they fucking make money, and it's not like they suddenly hang around with an upper echelon. It's still running with the same dudes.
Gamboa didn't want to fight him. Gamboa didn't want to fight him. Gamboa was going to go up to 135.
Rios is a bit of an issue at 135. Rios was an issue at 135. I know he wasn't no world beater. He hasn't got the best resume. But
he had pretty,
he was a solid fighter, to be fair.
He was pretty. I mean, who did he knock out? Lamont
Peterson.
Brother. Yeah.
He destroyed his career, man, because people thought Anthony was the better brother. But Rios, he ran into Rios, and that's all we ever heard of him, man.
Rios beat the crap out of him, stopped him.
Yeah. Low blows, I think.
Yeah, I want to see Rios Alvarado. I want to see Rios Alvarado 4. That's what I want to see.
Oh, for sure, man.
I want to see that.
Alvarado should win.
With fucking Areola Stavern on the undercard.
I don't think I don't think that kid could find his way to the car right now. You see his last conversation? My God, that
who's Alvarado? Or?
Yeah, they can't let that kid take. Am I thinking of the right kid?
Yeah, he had a brutal knockout on last year. I think it was the end of last year. Had a brutal knockout win.
You know what undercard?
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the middleweight kid there. They were still letting fight. Every time he talks, he slurs his words so bad. It's terrible. Yeah. And Golden Boy let him fight again. What's that?
I want Darnell Boone Stevenson 3. That's what I want.
Fuck. Who are you talking about, Cameron? Who did you just mention, Cameron, right now?
Rosado.
Rosado. He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight. Who is this kid?
Sulecki. I love Rosado, man. Rosado's one of my favorite fighters, man. I don't know why he is. I've always liked that guy.
He just
Yeah,
got
but
hurt.
For
I don't
beating
know.
Gillon Love, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
And Joshua
Yeah,
Claddy.
he won that fight.
Rosado fights anybody, man. That's like took a pacing against Golovkin. Golovkin looked like he axed him up.
Yeah, he's one of them dudes who don't give
Stop
a
the
fuck.
fight.
He'll
He's gonna
you.
kill him. Stop the fight. He's gonna kill him.
But you know what? You know what I saw?
Benny Briscoe.
No, he told his corner was saying, "Stop the fight. He's gonna kill him when he fought Golovkin."
Yeah,
Father.
Briscoe,
Father was
some.
saying it.
Yeah,
his name
I forgot his name. But
Rosado, I know it. Rosado's a good guy, man.
But
yo,
I did see Rosado. Hold on, I did see Rosado because I follow him on Instagram. He was down at the salon with like clear coat on his nails, getting his feet pedicured and shit.
Well, he called himself famous, which kind of I was like, really, dude? He's like, because he was in a movie. They was taking his part in a movie, and he's like, the guy goes, "Well, man, you're gonna be fucking famous now." He goes, "Dude, listen, I'm already famous, man." And he said he was as serious as a heart attack.
He was wrong,
Well, you know the Puerto Rican guys, man. All the Puerto Rican guys, they get their eyebrows threaded, they get their goatees all fucking.
Not me, bro. Not me. Not me.
I know.
I reckon I was jumping in there.
I get my goatee, like my goatee. I cut it myself. I have a certain way that it needs to be done.
But you know how they get like their mustache and their goatee connected by like a single strand of fucking hair? Like, how do you do that shit? You know what I'm talking about?
A little bit of
We always went to Spanish.
Dude. Like, listen, like me, I'm one of those guys that can shave, and the next day I have like a fucking, that shadow you could just see all around. So for me, I don't have that problem, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I see these dudes, and I'm like, what is that? Like, you got like a little did you connect it yourself? Did you take some off your top of your head and just like paste it there?
Stick it around your jaw.
You know what's funny? Recognize my shit grows in like a goatee perfectly. I don't trim it up or nothing.
Yeah, I don't have to either. Yeah, you're right. Mine's is just boom.
Yeah.
I just trim it up because if not, I'll be looking like fucking Bin Laden out in this motherfucker.
Be looking like Castaway.
If I left my hair grow, that shit would never stop.
Look at your hattie.
Yeah.
But yo, I was gonna ask you guys, provided that Mikey Garcia doesn't retire or Spence doesn't retire him, and because he's saying he's gonna stay at welterweight. I'm thinking to myself, who can he beat? Now I know I set the bar pretty low with Chris Algieri, but like honestly, who can he beat at 147?
Brandon Rios.
Come on, man.
Danny Garcia.
You think
Danny
so?
Garcia? I don't know, but he's more closer to his size. That's all.
Be a good fight. Danny and Mikey.
Can he beat Ugas?
Yeah, can he?
No. I don't think he'll beat anybody. Yeah, because Ugas is a big welterweight. He's got wicked long arms.
I don't think he beats many of the top 10 guys at welterweight Garcia.
Pacquiao?
I'll tell you what, real quickly, bro. I'll tell you what. After what I seen from Sean Porter last night, I wouldn't be surprised if Pacquiao even now still fucking beats him. To be honest with you.
I think Pacquiao can beat anybody at 147.
Yeah.
I just don't think he'd be a favorite against the top three guys. Well, he is one of the top three, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
Sorry, Precise. Speaking of Mikey, that guy Progray at 140, who he signed with Schaefer or not?
No, he's with DeBella, I think.
Oh,
yes, DeBella and PBC.
Well, I think that maybe if he doesn't retire after Mikey fight after Spence, maybe they're going to make him fight that guy Progray and raise up his profile.
I just don't think he's going to take on put it this way, if he gets stopped by Spence, I can guarantee you he's going to take on a pillow-fisted fighter next. You know what I mean? They'll put him in there with somebody light. They won't put him in with another banger.
Like precisely Chris Algieri.
Like exactly. Thank you. Yeah. Floats like a butterfly and stings like one too.
Maybe he beats him, but he goes life and death with Chris Algieri. I'm not trying to be funny, guys. Like
no, because he's definitely big enough where
and he
yeah, I see what you're saying.
He's just long. He got a jab and
Chris.
Like he got a jab, he's long and he moves. What's Mikey gonna do? Turn into Mike Tyson? Like, come on.
And he's got an avocado diet.
He should have just stayed at 135, man. What the fuck is this problem? Like, dude, you're not that explosive. You got to be explosive when you go when you go up higher. Roberto Duran was explosive. Okay,
You got to throw a lot of punches because you don't
Yes,
got that power. You got to have volume. You got to have something. He doesn't have any of that.
Yeah, that's right, precise.
he's like a wonderful at like timing you. I mean, that's not going to work at the fucking bigger weight class.
But he couldn't time Lipinets very well. He's
No?
wonderful at timing like guys that are his size or smaller and not that good. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but what's his face? Zlatikanin. He just got knocked out in the second round by a bum.
Yeah.
When you look at
well, Mikey
what's his
fanboys will tell you that he destroyed him.
Yeah, Mikey Garcia. It was never the same after that fight.
It's never the same. After
well, maybe he never had a chin, but Easter Jr. I mean, he lost. Arguably, I think he did 3. He was coming off 3 losses before he fought Mikey.
Yeah.
To little guys. Guys
To
come
Kome.
Fucking Shabikov, mate. Fucking Shabikov was.
That's a fucking blown up featherweight. Shafikov? That guy's like, what, 5'2"? And he arguably whooped his ass.
He's moved down since that fight as well, Shabikov.
There you go.
I think if he gets knocked out by.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I thought Comey beat Easter. I was
Same.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, if he gets knocked out by Spence, I wouldn't be surprised if he just moves on and becomes that California cop. Yeah, becomes the cop because he wants to become a cop. He's already passed the test and everything.
We're gonna start calling him Michael Pena after this fight.
Well, he already keeps the fucking. He's got that flat top police haircut and shit, and he has a mustache now.
He needs to go back to his old school hairstyle. And before you had that break, we had that fucking flat top shit. He needs to go back to that, man.
Speaking of them haircuts and Chicago Latino gangsters, that shit was hot back in the 90s, man. All the Mexican boys wore their hair like that.
Yeah. It's funny you said that too earlier, Precise, because where I grew up here in Boston, that's where we all went to Spanish places because they gave the best fades. Nice and tight. They'd square us up. They were good because they were straight edge razors. Then.
Did they put that hairnet over that shit too, though? Because that's what they did in Chicago, man.
No. This is just white boys with the fade. Because white barbers couldn't do a fade up the side, right? You would get that line you could see. In the best fades, you can't see the fade up into the hair. And they could do it. They would do it with a comb and a fucking straight edge. It was nuts. Chop.
I'll get a bold fade, but if my fucking barber fucks up, I'm like, listen, mate, he gives me discount if I literally say to him, like, you fuck the fade up. Fucking gives me discount that shit. Listen, if you've got a fucking fucked up fade, man, it's just terrific.
It's the worst, man. The worst.
I get shadow fade, but I have him leave it long on the top a little bit. But anyway,
yeah, that's the same as me.
Yeah, I Precise. Did you ever see like one of them SD dudes who's got like the fade on the top, but they got the long hair in the back? You know what I'm talking about?
Kind of like that Native American tribe, kind of.
Like the SDs and shit be rocking. Yeah.
Remember the mushroom haircut? It was like right around the flat top time.
Mushroom haircut.
Fucking Paulie Malignaggi haircut.
Oh, he's on with bare knuckle. He's on with bare knuckle boxing, isn't he, Malignaggi?
Yeah. Did you see the video? Did you see the video of him sparring with McGregor?
Yeah, I seen
McGregor laced him up. Oh shit. McGregor was.
I still got to stab egg into his fucking.
I think it was edited.
To be fair. I mean, this guy was fat. What's his name? Paulie. Paulie looked like he'd been sniffing coke for quite a while. Like he had that coke fat face.
Coke bloat.
Yeah, the coke bloat. The coke bloat. Yeah. Bloat. Hey, he was getting laced up, man.
See that fight.
Did you see that GIF? Somebody did out a GIF. I don't know who. I can't remember. It was a tweet. They said, "When you're getting ready for the best defensive fighter in the world, nothing gets you ready for the best defensive fighter like the cat-like reflexes of Paulie Malignaggi." It shows him getting fucking hammered by fucking. Oh man, I fucking laughed my tits off when I saw that.
I think he must have called him like, hey man, you want to help me prepare for the Mayweather fight? And this guy must have been like not training because he was retired, right? So
yeah, he
came in against McGregor, this bigger guy who had already probably been training already, and he just fucking did a Charlie Stelinoff on him. He just fucking attacked
biggest mistake of McGregor's life. He ended up having to get a restraining order on the fucking kid.
Charlie Zelenoff would have gave him a better spar than fucking
Charlie Zelenoff is relentless, bro. He's gonna keep coming.
Let's be honest. How many people go into Deontay Wilder's gym and fucking do that with that guy, man?
Yeah.
Oh, so that guy's off his nuts.
Hey, it's still his best win to date, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what's crazy about Charlie? This motherfucker, he don't wait until you put on your gloves, man. He's like, he'll catch you when you're fucking slipping them off.
You're a fucking bunch of Floyd
Senior.
Yo, beat up by Roger Floyd Senior.
Yeah, he threw a sucker punch at Floyd Senior.
And then they jumped on him. Yeah.
Floyd Senior's got dementia and everything, man. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. Did you see that kid that knocked out? There's a video of some kid knocking out Floyd Senior.
Yeah, you guys.
Dude, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, he just that dude was just being abusive, man. Like,
Charlie. Some of the chat goes. Mateus says Charlie is mentally ill. Yeah, he is mentally. He's called out Muhammad Ali on Twitter, and he's dead. That's how fucking weird that guy is.
Dude.
No, but he ain't crazy when he ain't crazy. Yeah, go ahead.
When he said that Tom Cruise was Dominican, that's it. He made a fan out of me. I said, damn. What is he talking about?
He's crazy, but he ain't crazy. He ain't crazy to like when he's like, all right, let's spar. So you're putting on your gloves. As soon as you're putting on your gloves, he knows that's the time that I'm gonna fucking hit you.
Wait.
Yeah.
Did y'all see he got pulled up on? If you search on YouTube, Charlie Z pulled up on this guy. I don't know. He's like this little like I don't know African or like Haitian guy. Crazy Tempo was the dude's name. He ran up on Charlie in the streets. He had gloves on already, and he just started throwing on him. Charlie just turned tail and run. They get into like a Jack in the Box or In-N-Out burger or something. And Charlie, I swear to God, he'd jump over the counter and run into the kitchen while people are working to get away from this dude throwing punches at him.
But he talked about that. He said he ran because he was afraid he was going to kill a kid because he only had his bare hands.
We unleashed a pandemic punch, as he puts it.
Speaking of jumping over the counter, did anybody ever see that one video of those two black chicks at McDonald's
throwing the fucking straw container at the manager?
No. They try giving the dude a fake 50, and he won't take it. And he's like, "Bitch, get out of here! You got a fake 50." So both of these broads jump over the counter, and he starts fucking wailing on him with like
for a fucking cheeseburger.
With a piece of pipe or something like that.
That was in.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, bro.
New York. That was over here in New York when it happened.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Why would you kick off and jump over a counter for a fucking cheeseburger, man?
Kim, you never get in between a big girl and her burgers, man. That shit will pop off ugly.
Yeah, now.
Oh, no, dude, I've been around there. I just start swinging. If I see fat girls drooling and they're going for a banquet, you just got to start swinging. I hope you don't get caught up in the stampede.
Fat girls drooling.
Fucking that fat bitch.
I've never seen a fat girl jump over a fucking counter at McDonald's because she wouldn't get fucking served.
They were dykes. They were dykes. Those bitches were dykes. It was a fair fight to me.
I mean, seriously, they got these fucking broads, these girls, 300 pounds on Twitter, taking pictures of themselves in bikinis and flowers in their hair. Like, I have their body shame. No, you don't. You're an incubator for fucking diabetes.
If a girl,
flowers in their hair.
No, it's just it's unbelievable. It's like, look at me.
When
like you got fucking.
When these girls attack you, it's like they bring the size of a man. You gotta hit them hard. Like
capture fat is the new sexy.
Fucking buffalo wing juice dripping off their chest.
Oh Jesus! Some people goes, fat is beautiful. I've seen so many people on social media recently, like these big girls and doing fucking photo shoots saying it's okay to be fat, it's beautiful, and I'm like, you can fucking hell, man.
There's nothing nice about being a fat bitch. I'm sorry.
Have you seen those videos?
Yeah, have
you seen those videos?
Get on a fucking treadmill and sort your fucking figure out. You know what I mean?
Have you seen those videos where when a girl's picking on a guy and the guy reacts and hits him like a man? Because a lot of these girls think they're not gonna get punched on because they're girls, but then in these videos the guys just fucking wail on them.
My best mate says to me all the time, he's like, if a bitch slaps you, you slap her back double times hard. That's what my mate says.
I think a couple of you's heard this story before, but when I was at that Super Bowl party a few years back. This girlfriend of my buddies, she couldn't handle her liquor. She popped me like 5 times in the face. I didn't hit her back, and I held her down like, bitch, get the fuck off me. Then I let her go, and she chucked a glass Tostitos jar at my fucking head. It went right past my head. I would have looked like Badu Jack if that fucking thing.
You were the popular one that night, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, and you know, and my buddy never talked to me again after this, bro.
Badu Jack.
He
wasn't your buddy.
Yeah, no, and I was friends with him for like 10 years. He just started going out with this chick. I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
So
your buddy's a chump. First of all, he should have grabbed her up and be like, "Don't touch my boy's face."
Oh yeah,
if I was ever with a woman who did that, I would have slapped her.
My friend's face. You gotta grab him up.
Bro, and this kid's like fucking 4'10". His house got robbed back in the day, and I was beefing with the dudes that robbed his house and all this other shit, and then he fucked me over, dog. Yeah, he is a chump, exactly.
Yeah, you see, those are chumps, bro. Those are chumps. Like even look, man. Let me tell you something. A guy robs my house. There's no talking, bro. I'm
dead.
I'm coming with something that's gonna make your life very, very impossible. That's it.
Yeah.
Electric chair. I mean, fucking grab a. All you do is bring him in the basement with a metal chair.
It depends on who you are. If I know you as a guy that I have to come with the hammer. And I'm not talking about a literal hammer. All right, I'm talking about the hammer. I'm coming up to you and I'm like, yo, you robbed my shit, right? Yeah. I might be nice. I might be nice to him and hit him a couple of times in his legs, and that's it.
Yeah, but people can pass out from shit like that, dude. Electricity is the best way. The Whitey Bulger special: get them naked, or at least fucking seriously naked in a folded metal chair. Put their feet in water. Take a plug out of the back of a fucking lamp. Strip it, pull the things out, and just bop a couple of tops on the nuts. He'll tell you everybody who was involved.
Yeah. Well, the thing was recognized. Like I say, I went out of my way to beef with these fuckers for him because the kid's a little bitch. And I was trying to do him a favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking double fucking cross and fucking chump. Yeah, the Mad Sam DiStefano treatment, Jimmy. Whitey Bulger, man. So,
shot by his own brother. Imagine your own brother opening up with a shotgun on you in your driveway.
Oh, you know about Mad Sam?
Oh, of course, dude. I know a lot about the mob and shit just because it was prevalent in this area. But yeah, Mad DiStefano, his own brother took the hit. He was told to put it on. Him and Tony Spilotro hit him in the driveway. They told him, hey, we're going to be there at 1 o'clock. The garage door opened up, and there was his own brother. Fuck a boom. And those two killed their third brother, the junkie.
I was just going to say that. The other two and the two brothers killed the third one. Yeah.
Who's this? Junkie.
Who's this?
DiStefano brothers, Mad DiStefano. He was going to court, and he had a bullhorn. He was in court.
Google this shit, yeah?
Fucking the mobster.
They're Chicago wise guys from the old days, Cameron.
The outfit, yeah. Everywhere else in the they have names. The Chicago mob didn't want to do that. They could take family names, so they just was always whoever the boss was. It was the outfit. So when you hear outfit, that's Chicago Mafia.
Dude, I remember my older brother, right? He was telling me this story about like this notorious drug dealer from out where I lived at, right? He was telling me the story that the dude killed his brother, and I was like, "Oh shit!" He goes, well, "Let me explain it to you." So he's like, "Okay, he kills his own brother. That was his brother from his father, like me and my brother. Me and my brother are like literally that saying,
like half brothers.
That's my brother from another mother."
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're literally that. So he was like, all right. So he goes, that dude had beef with this guy that he knew that there was a rumor that more than likely was his brother. They have the same pops, right? It was like never confirmed. They never talked about it or anything like that. But, so I guess they had beef over, you could imagine what it was for. And, so one day he just he rolls up on him and he kills him in front of his mother's house. Right? He kills the dude in front of his mother's house. But the guy said when he was bragging about this, check this out. The guy was bragging about killing his own brother. He said, "Man, I heard his bitch ass mom." His bitch ass mom said, "Oh, wait a second, that's such and such. That's such and such boy." Talking about his father, which would be that boy's father too. And when they said, "So what you did after that?" He said, "I don't give a fuck. I still shot that dude." He's like that. He goes like, "That nigga's not my brother. I don't give a fuck if he, He's like, "He ain't my brother. He's not a brother to me."
Jesus.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And like it was like my brother telling me that like that's not over exaggerating. That's pretty much confirmed. Like that was the rumor around that everybody knew about this. They were like, "Yo, that dude's shot."
The mob did it in Philadelphia too. Fucking Joey Molino, his underboss was murdered by his own brother, own flesh brother, like only 2 years apart, same household. Did a hit, caught on FBI surveillance too.
Yeah, who's the one they? Oh fuck! Who was Jimmy? Who was the one up there in Boston that ran the mob for like 50 years? Patriarca,
but he was out of Providence. His son lived up here in East End.
Yeah.
Billy DeMarco ran Boston for him for years, but yeah, Raymond Patriarca, his fucking crash test dummy son Raymond Jr. used to come down to the club we hung at all the time. He was a fucking dude, stupid. When I tell you dumb, like fucking borderline mentally retarded, but jacked up and fucking driving a Ferrari. Fucking stupid as the day is long. He caught all kinds of pinches for stupid shit. Like he'd be involved in stolen car rings, and he's got stolen cars at his property. It's like, you ain't even an idiot. Yeah, it's just stupid, dude. Same thing with fucking Gotti's kid. Not that Gotti wasn't nothing but a brain dead idiot, but his son is even stupider.
Gotti is so overrated, bro.
Gotti's an idiot.
He was an illegitimate capo, like a boss. Listen, man. Back then, like they were like, yo, there was so many hits on him for what he did. Like the Genoveses, the Genoveses wanted him dead. They were like, yo, let's.
Vinny the Chin.
As soon as you see him, they're like, as soon as you see him, you smoke him. That's
Why do you think he never left New York? Why do you think he never went to Los Angeles? You never seen him anywhere because dead. You can't.
He was dead.
He wouldn't have lived. Like the last time a boss was taken out was in Philadelphia. It's that famous picture that Bruno was sitting there with his mouth wide open. He got shot in the back of the head with a shotgun. The guy who did that, DeCastio, they killed him within 3 days, and they found him in a car with money shoved up his asshole, for meaning like you died because of greed, because you thought you could take over the boss. Like you didn't kill a boss unless you had it.
John Gotti was smart in this sense. What I'll give him this is he kept his circle tight because he knew he had a hit on his life. That was it. It was over.
His best friend died because of it. The circle, remember?
Yeah. When you kill a captain, you kill the boss. Excuse me, not the boss. Okay, not no captain. This is the boss without a sit down, without anything. Okay, you pretty much you're dead, man. That's it. I mean, anybody could pick up that hit, basically. You know what I'm saying? Anybody within the family could pick up a hit like that. Even a guy who's not even made. Even a guy who's not even made could just.
Well, that's the thing. That would get you open. That'd get the books. You would get your button. Exactly. You killed him. So many guys were gunning for him. Remember his best friend Chicho went to borrow Gotti's car and they put a bomb under it and it blew up and killed his best friend because that was meant for him.
They out here back in the day they of course the old days, but they did the same thing to Giancana because Tony Accardo and Paul Rica ran the mob for like 60 fucking years out here, bro. Like forever. Like they would put guys as like the day-to-day boss, but they were the real, they were the real head of the fan. But
they had to wait.
Yeah, you had if you had to do a hit, you had to get permission from Paul Rica and Tony Accardo. But they kicked Giancana out. They shelved him because he kept fucking around at the club with Sinatra and all this other shit. And he was
dating a McGuire sister, who was a famous singer. He was going around the world with. He was in London papers. He was in all these papers. Yeah, You want to die? Get your name in the papers. Be a mobster in fame. Like God, he was an idiot. You imagine being an FBI agent. They all said, how pissed we were. He's sitting in the same restaurants as us, toasting to us, laughing. Like fucking, you don't spit in the FBI's face because they're gonna get you.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like little Gambino. Remember that old guy with the crooked nose and the hat? And he lived in the same building with his mother. That dude probably murdered fucking 500 people, had millions of dollars, and you would have never known. Took the bus sometimes right up until he was the boss. Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yeah, but they kicked Giancana out, and he went to Mexico, and then he came back, and he's like, "Fuck that! They're not kicking me out anywhere." And then he got whacked, and it's still unsolved, bro.
Cooking sausages and onions, and nobody showed up to his funeral, and his daughter never forgave his associates for that. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was in bad standing because he showed up and he said, nope, I'm fucking. It had to be one of his close friends because he was cooking dinner for them. They had tables with mashed, so they sat down for sausage and peppies and pop.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, and he was under surveillance the whole time, too. So, and the cops are fucking crooked. But they probably, yeah.
Cop was probably the dude who held the door for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially back then.
Yeah. Oh, all right. What are we talking about? Is there any DAZN fights next weekend? Does anybody know?
Well, maybe we should end the show now. It's been a few hours now. 3 hours?
Yeah, me and fucking Johnny Boy will talk mob all night, man. I love the fucking history of the mob. Just because they ran boxing, that's why I originally got into them. I wanted to know more about them. And the history of boxing and mafia is so interconnected. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Good books. Jimmy Cannon wrote some good books about it. A few good books out on it. But anyways, gentlemen, then listen, you guys all be safe. Cam, good talking to you. Precise, everybody. Good night to whoever's still out there. Thanks for having me on.
Good night, Jimmy.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Brother. Peace.
Peace, everyone.
All right.
And thank you, Johnny Boy, for hosting.
Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to say happy birthday, Cam. Have a good rest of your birthday, buddy.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, say happy birthday to
bud.
Cameron.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cameron. I wish I was there. I wish I was there so I could grab the cake and smash your face in it.
Let's all sing. Let's all sing happy birthday.
One time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday,
ass eater.
Ass liquor. Happy birthday, fucking ass liquor.
Eater.
Happy birthday, you Jew.
Oh.
He probably won't like that because he's with this girl, about the whole ass licking part.
All right.
Anyway.
All right.
So she knows
Sorry,
about it.
gentlemen.
She like it.
Peace out, everybody.
All right. Till next time.
Later.
All right, take care, guys. And by the way, we're going to be having the call-in show on Wednesday or Thursday, so stay tuned for that, guys. See ya.